who is a pure devotee of the Lord. Actually, we discussed this verse also, so we have to go forward from today's 44. Sa-rahasyo dhanur-veda sa-visargo upasaṁyamaḥ astra-grāmaś bhavatā śikṣito yad-anugrahāt. It was by Droṇācārya's mercy that you learned the military art of throwing arrows and the confidential art of controlling weapons. So this is Draupadī Devi reminding Arjuna that the anugraha means the blessing or the mercy which has been disposed by Droṇācārya towards the Pandavas. Because it is Droṇācārya who trained them in the martial art. So Dhanur-veda or military science was taught by Droṇācārya with all its confidential secrets of throwing and controlling the Vedic hymns. Gross military science is dependent on material weapons, but finer than that is the art of throwing the arrows saturated with Vedic hymns, which act more effectively than gross material weapons like machine guns or atom bombs. How is it so? That the throwing of arrows saturated with Vedic hymns are more effective than gross material weapons like machine guns and atomic bombs. Why Prabhupada is saying so? How it is more effective? What is the effectiveness of the weapon which is followed by mantra? Mantrastra. How the mantrastra is more powerful than the modern weapons? You should answer. Boliye. Pradeep?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So actually the Vedic hymns are transcendental.
The Vedic hymns are
Transcendental.
transcendental. Rishya says, Traya guna vishaya veda, nestra guna bhava Arjuna. How it is transcendental? Yes, Traya guna vishaya veda. You know the answer, Pranav?
I guess, Prabhuji, that that arrows guided by mantra, these are targeted, Prabhuji, guided. And Prabhupada writes here that it controls arrows by sound only.
So, how is it more effective than the nuclear warfare or the modern ammunition?
It kills only the person which is only to the enemies. It harm only to the. It is guided.
Yes, it is targeted. And it hits the only target. It does not touch anyone else. And it is so effective, and unless and until it kills, it will not leave the person. It is more lethal, more effective. Hundreds of arrows will be shot, but those hundreds of arrows will go and hit the same target. And they will not leave the person unless and until it hits the person. So it is more lethal. It is very, very precise. It is so much focused on the object that it will not go and hit anyone else. So the arrow saturated with the Vedic hymns which act more effectively than gross material weapons like machine guns or atomic bombs. The control is by Vedic mantras or the transcendental signs of sound. It is said in the Rāmāyaṇa that Mahārāja Daśaratha, the father of Lord Śrī Rāma, used to control the arrows by sound only. He could pierce the target with his arrows by only hearing the sound and without seeing the object. So this is the finer military science than that of the gross material military weapons used nowadays. Arjuna was taught all this, and therefore Draupadi wished that Arjuna feel obliged to Ācārya Droṇa for all these benefits. And in the absence of Droṇācārya, his son was his representative. That was the opinion of the good lady Draupadi. It may be argued why Droṇācārya, a rigid brāhmaṇa, would be a teacher in military science. But the reply is that a brāhmaṇa should become a teacher, regardless of what his department of knowledge is. A learned brāhmaṇa should become a teacher, a priest, and a recipient of charity. A bona fide brāhmaṇa is authorized to accept such professions. So Draupadi Devi is reminding Arjuna that he should feel obligated, he should feel indebted. Sa esha Bhagavan Droṇa prajarupena vartate tasyatmano ardham patnyaste nanavagat virushakripi. He, Droṇācārya, is certainly still existing, being represented by his son. His wife, Kripi, did not undergo a sati with him because she had a son. So she is giving another argument that the wife of Droṇācārya, Kripi, is the sister of Kripacārya, a devoted wife who is, according to revealed scriptures, the better half of her husband, is justified in embracing voluntarily death along with her husband if she is without issue. So it is recommended that the wife goes in the sacrificial fire with her husband if she is without issue, if she does not have dependent small children. But in case of the wife of Droṇācārya, she did not undergo such a trial because she had her son, the representative of her husband. A widow is a widow only in the name if there is a son of her husband existing. So in other case, Ashwathama was the representative of Droṇācārya, and therefore killing Ashwathama would be like killing Droṇācārya. That was the argument of Draupadi against the killing of Ashwathama. Tad dharmagna mahabhaga bhavatbhir gauravankulam vrijinam narhati praptum pujyam vandayam abhikshana. O most fortunate one who knows the principle of religion, it is not good for you to cause grief to glorious family members who are always respectable and worshipable. So Draupadi Devi continues giving the good counsel. She says that Arjuna should not cause grief to this glorious family of his Guru Droṇācārya. A slight insult for the respectable family is sufficient to invoke grief. Therefore, an cultured man should always be careful in dealing with worshipable family members. Very important that we should deal with our family members in a way of showing respect and culture to each other, not considering them on the material front. And we learn here from Draupadi Devi that in spite of Ashwathama committing such unpardonable offense, such a heinous act, but still Draupadi Devi's respect is not changing. She is still saying that we should not mistreat the son of our Guru Droṇa. Mārodad asya janani Gautami pati devata yathaham amrita vatsarta rodhami ashru mukhi muhu. My Lord, do not make the wife of Droṇācārya cry like me. So she is pleading Arjuna that do not make the wife of Droṇācārya cry like me. I am aggrieved for the death of my sons, and she need not cry constantly like me. So we see the quality of Draupadī Devi. Her feeling of taking revenge or punishing Droṇācārya is completely dissolved. And he is thinking about the family members of Droṇācārya, how to give them benefit. And he says, like, I have lost my 5 sons and I am so much aggrieved. So she is requesting Arjuna that you do not reply in such a fashion that she loses her son. Because I know the pain of losing a son. So I don't want that pain to be experienced by wife of Droṇācārya. She need not cry constantly like me. Sympathetic good lady as she was, Srimati Draupadī, did not want to put the wife of Droṇācārya in the same position of childlessness, both from the point of motherly feeling and from the respectable position held by the wife of Droṇācārya. So she is even thinking about the welfare of not only the culprits, but also of those she is thinking about the feelings of Kripi, the mother of Ashwatthama, that what she will feel. She has already lost her husband. Droṇācārya has been slain in the battlefield. And if she loses Ashwatthama also, then she will have no one to protect her. Ya kopitam brahmakulam rajanaya ajitatmabhi tatkulam pradhanti asu shanubandhanam sucharpitam. If the members of the administrative kingly order, being unrestricted in sense control, if the members of the administrative kingly order, being unrestricted in sense control, offend the brāhmaṇa order and enrage them, then the fire of that rage burns up the whole royal family and brings grief upon them. So now first she was mildly suggesting and reminding, but now she is going even further and saying that if you do not restrict or control yourself, what will be the result? That the curse of the brāhmana or the mistreatment done to the brāhmana will become the cause of destruction of dynasty. The brāhmana's order of society or the spiritually advanced caste of community and the members of such highly elevated families were always held in great esteem by other subordinate castes, namely the administrative kingly order, the mercantile order, and the laborers. So in this way, Draupadī Devi exhibits her gentle and most cultured nature, that she is not willing to punish Ashwatthama. Sūta uvacha dharmayam nyayam karunam nirvalya likam samamahat raja dharma suto ragnaya prayatna vacho dvijita. Sūta Goswami says, O Brahmanas, King Yudhishthira fully supported the statements of the queen. which were in accordance with the principles of religion and were justified, glorious, full of mercy and equanimity, and without duplicity. So, Draupadi Devi finds a very staunch supporter for her valid reasons and argument in the form of Yudhishthir Maharaj. Maharaj Yudhishthir, who was the son of Dharmaraj or Yamraj, fully supported the words of Queen Draupadi in asking Arjuna to release Ashwatthama. One should not tolerate the humiliation of the members of a great family. Arjuna and his family were indebted to the family of Droṇācārya. Arjuna and his family were indebted to the family of Droṇācārya because Arjuna is learning the military science from him. If ingratitude were shown to such a benevolent family, it would not be at all justified from the moral standpoint. The wife of Droṇācārya, who was the half body of the great soul, must be treated with compassion, and that she should not be put into grief because of her dead son. That is compassion. Such statements by Draupadi are without duplicity, because action should be taken with full knowledge. The feeling of equality was there because Draupadi spoke out of her personal experience. A barren woman cannot understand the grief of a mother. Draupadi was herself a mother, and therefore her calculations of the depth of Prithvi's grief was quite to the point. And it was glorious because she wanted to show proper respects to her family. Okay. So I'll take this 50th verse, the last verse, but there are 8 more verses that I will take tomorrow. Tatraha amarshita bhimas tasya shreyan vadhasmita na bhartur na atmanastarthe yuaham suktau shishum vritha. Bhima, however, finally disagreed with them. Okay, I'm not. Left one. One second. Sorry. 50th verse. Nakula Sahadevascha Yuyudhano Dhananjaya Bhagavan Devaki Putro Ye Channe Yascha Yoshita. Nakula and Sahadev, the younger brother of the king, and also Satyaki, Arjuna, the personality of Godhead, Lord Śrī Krishna, son of Devaki, and the ladies and others all unanimously agreed with the king. Kunti Devi agreed. That made Yudhishthir Maharaj agree. And Nakul and Sahadev also agreed. Satyaki, Arjuna's charioteer, agreed. Krishna also agreed. And all other ladies present, everyone agreed. But one person did not agree. That we will see tomorrow. I'm stopping here. Cannot continue further. Okay, any discussion? Should have some discussion on the principles that we are discussing. Otherwise, it will remain in the book. So many times I say the same repetition. And we must have discussion. Shastra is meant to be churned. If it is not churned, at least it should be skimmed if not churned. And otherwise, you will not get any content of butter, ghee, and other products. Yes, Manoram Prabhu.
Prabhuji, in verse 50, all they unanimously agreed with the king. So that king means
Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Yeah. The first person to support Draupadi Devi's argument is not Arjuna and Krishna. It is Yudhishthir Maharaj. That is the Dharmaraj. He agrees. It is said that to forgive someone is a gift for others, and to forget is a gift to self. If you have been engaged in some act where you had felt very offended, somebody else has done something very, unjustified. So if you forgive him, then it is a gift for him. But even if we forgive, the remnants are there inside and it comes out. And if you are able to forget that, that is the gift to yourself so that you can advance. You can move ahead. Yes, Sonika?
Harishan Prabhuji, Prabhuji, here Ashwatthama has committed a great sin by killing the sleeping
Innocent
Pandav,
sons.
the innocent sons. So still Draupadi Devi is giving forgiveness to him. So Prabhuji, such a person should be punished anyhow.
There are two shastras saying that it is from the Dharma Shastra, yes, because he is an Atatai, as they were discussing. An Atatai should immediately be killed. But on the other side is the culture. Draupadi speaks about the inheritance of high culture. And Draupadi is considering Ashwatthama to be the representative of Droṇācārya. So she is saying that irrespective of whatever he has done, we should not avenge that, or we should not cause any further grief or suffering to Drona's wife Kripi, because she has already lost her husband and now she will lose her only son. So she was saying that I know the pain of losing this son. I am going through that pain. But I don't want to become the cause of creating the same pain in the heart of Kripi. This is called para-dukkha dukhi. The other day we were seeing the pranam mantra of Srila Sanatana Goswami. That is kripam buddhi para-dukkha dukhi. And how much she is pained to feel what will be the pain of Kripi when she comes to know that even Ashwatthama has been killed, or she has lost Ashwatthama. She's already lost her husband, Droṇācārya. So she does not want to become the cause of that grief and suffering that will be experienced by Kripi. So she thinks better to forgive him, not to treat him. See, normally what we see is tit for tat. जैसे को तैसा. तुमने एक थप्पड़ मारा, मैं दो मारूंगा. Where can you find someone who says, okay, you slapped me on the left, you slapped me even on the right? Very difficult, very, very difficult. Instead of tit for tat, we have to do tat karma pravartana. Śrī Rupa Goswami says, tat karma pravartana sangatyago sato vitti. Shadbir bhakti prasida. We see here the forgiving nature. It comes from culture. It comes from one who has practiced deeply Krishna consciousness. Who has really become Krishna conscious can do that. One who is making a show of Krishna consciousness is not possible. We see everyone else agrees But Bhima is rejecting. He is not agreeing. He has difference of opinion. We will see that further also. But to forgive and to forget that if somebody committed offense, normally we don't forget. Externally we may forgive. Yeah, theek hai, koi baat nahi. But inside it is always there, burning, boiling. And we are waiting when I will get the opportunity to avenge it. So here Draupadi, you see Arjuna, you see the character. That is why Pandavas are so special. This family is so special. There is no envy in their heart. They are really unassailable. That is when these Pandavas will go and meet Bhishma Dev after the battle is over, and Bhishma Dev is on the bed of arrows. So he will glorify the Pandavas. Aho kashtam, aho anyaya. How much suffering you had to go there. Aho anyaya, so much terrible injustice was done to you, the Pandavas. But you never gave up. You never gave up. That is the glory of a character. When in opposing situation, he does not give up his speech. That speaks of the true character, the personality. And we see the glorious qualities of the Pandava family. There is no desire to take revenge or to punish. All of them are agreeing to leave him. Not only leave him, but to give him the same respect, the respect which was given by them to their teacher Droṇācārya. See, that is what I was saying yesterday only, Kriti. That is what she is reminding Arjuna. That you should have that level of gratitude in your heart. That see what he has done to us. He has trained you, taught you. And whatever skill, prowess, or position you have today is because of the wonderful gift of Droṇācārya. How can we neglect that, or how can we forget that? Then this person, Ashwathama, is the representative. So how can you kill him? Very deep level of gratitude is there in the heart. Ungrateful person, there's no gratitude. क्या किया तुमने मेरे लिए? क्या हुआ? कोई भी करेगा. You see today's children, how they behave with their mother and father, or students with their teacher. There is no such feeling of, not even an iota of gratitude. That means the culture is not there. The samskaras are not there. Then the character will also not be there. Cannot be there. Okay. This chapter is the son of Drona punished. He asked about Parikshit, na? So how could Parikshit have such character? Why he was chosen? Why only Arjuna? See the glorious family. Arjuna was chosen to hear, to receive Bhagavad Gita. And Parikshit is chosen to hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Where is any family which is more glorious than this family of the Pandavas? Why? Because of their qualities, because of their character. So in life, if you have to really receive the blessings of the Lord, do not be influenced by others. And do not think that others, they are not following the principles, or they are making all kind of compromises and they are gaining in so-called, society or social stature. No. The ultimate reward or the judgment will come from the Supreme Lord. And to the extent we are sincere and honest, we will receive his reciprocation, not otherwise. We cannot cheat or bluff the Supreme Lord. That's not possible. If one is sincere, then he is assured. He is assured of all protection from the Supreme Lord. There is no doubt about it. And you will experience in your practice of Krishna consciousness. Many, many times you will experience. You can see how Lord very lovingly reciprocates. But to the extent we are sincere and serious on following what the Lord desires, or what is a representative desire from us. You see how all of a sudden this Pandavas family is discussed. Why all this is being discussed? Ashwatthama, because this will give the pathway for the glorious birth of Parikshit. Even after being forgiven, I don't want to give the forecast of what we will study. Ashwatthama will betray again, even a bigger betrayal. Again, he will release the Brahmastra, and this time to kill Parikshit. You see, so there's another learning. The person who is evil, or who is wicked, or who is asuric, you can never trust him. He will be released now, but again he will not leave. He will again use Brahmastra, and this time try to kill within the embryo of Uttara Devi, the inheritor. So he has already killed the 5 sons. So there is no son of Pandava left. But then he will try to kill even the grandson also, who is yet to be born. But Krishna will protect. Krishna will protect. The devotee is definitely fearless. But he should be very fearful of not following the principle, of committing offense or aparadha. Very, very fearful of his heart. I remember Guru Maharaj personally told me, I said, Maharaj, I am very fearful. He said, yes, one should have fear of Maya. He is fearless for his own protection, but he is very fearful. So see the fear in the heart of Draupadī Devi. You see the verse? She is saying that the entire dynasty is put to ruination by the curse and the rage of a brāhmaṇa. So don't offend a brāhmaṇa. Don't do that. She is telling Arjuna. She is warning Arjuna. This was there in the verse. Today I don't have the glass. My reading glass is not there. Somehow it got broken. So I cannot read the finer print. Somehow I was trying to read the big font. Which verse was there where she is saying that the Brahmana curse or the rage will burn the entire dynasty? 48. So she has fear. Why we commit offense? Because we are fearless. Both we are shameless also and we are fearless also. And there is no gratitude in the heart of what others have done for us. So Draupadi Devi is exhibiting this quality of deep indebtedness, gratitude in our heart. Actually, as spiritual masters, instruction can only be followed by the disciple if he has deep gratitude. To the extent he has the depth of gratitude, to that extent he can easily follow. And to the extent he is hollow, he just cannot follow. He will never be able to follow. He'll find ways and means and excuses. So very deep level of spiritual gratitude which is exhibited by Draupadi Devi and the Pandavas. It is even with Arjuna. I recited that once. He said it is better for me to go and beg rather to attack and counter-attack my guru and my grandfather. He is more pained than giving pain to them, than thinking of the pain that was inflicted to them. And they did not interfere. They're not, see, another reason is they're not judgmental. In our case, we are very judgmental. Immediately we judge. We jump to conclusions. But in the case of the Pandavas, they are not judgmental. And they are not complaining. Once one devotee was very deeply expressing, you see the character of Prahlad Maharaj. He never went to his father, Hiranyakashipu, and said, "My dear father, why are you doing this to me? Why you are trying to kill me? Why you are putting me in the boiling pot? Why you are throwing me from the mountain cliff? Why you are trying to trample me under the elephant?" He never ever went and complained. Did he? Do you see in Bhagavatam? Never. The Pandavas never complained to Krishna that we are your so close, you are always with us, but see what is happening to us. Why is this happening to us? When you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything is under your control. Prabhupada is ever complaining. He goes to the West with so much of difficulty. And what he has to do when he goes to Sally Agarwal's place, Gopal and Sally Agarwal's place, he is forced to stay at YMCA. An old man, 70-year-old man, in the cold month of September, it starts to snow. He has to 3 times walk to come and take his bath and wash his clothes and take his meals to their residence. And again he has to go back. And then he shifts to Dr. Ramurthy Mishra's place. He cannot adjust there. Then he goes to his office. Again the same thing. He lives in his office, and for taking bath, washing his clothes, and to prepare his meals, he has to come to his apartment. And then he takes his own apartment. Whatever little belonging he has, everything is stolen. His typewriter is stolen, his dictaphone is stolen, everything is stolen. And from there, when he goes to some other loft, there in the dead of night, that David comes to attack him, kill him. And he's on the street in the middle of night, not knowing where to go. He is not complaining, "Krishna, what have you done? Why have you brought me here to face such humiliation?" He's saying, "Nachao, nachao, Prabhu. You make me dance as ever you please." Why? Because in their heart there is such deep gratitude towards Krishna. So personal inconveniences, it does not matter to them. What matters to them is the mission of the Lord. And the depth that they have, the desire that they have to fulfill the mission, whatever comes they accept. They are not disturbed or affected by it. Others are very easily disturbed, distracted, and they leave also. A very, very glorious character of Draupadi Devi. After getting her 5 sons killed, she is pleading her husbands not to punish the person who is killed. Just imagine. Somebody would have slapped us in public once. In our heart, there will be such fire. Unless and until I slap him twice, that fire will never be set free. So this is actually spiritual platform, but there is no envy. Material platform means only envy. Revenge is all there. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you for asking this question. So we could discuss what is the relevance of all these verses which are being narrated here. Why Parikshit, who is on the verge of death, hearing all this? Because he wants the true character of his family members will be revealed in this episode of Ashwatthama. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare